Hey everybody, Coach Kyle here. Thanks for watching this video. We're going to talk about the 5 different channels, providing this visually for you. Even though we've talked about it before, I find that putting something out visually usually helps the boys understand it more. So we're going to talk about the 5 channels, and we're going to talk about the field in thirds. First, let's talk about the 5 different channels. I've got these split up. We've got our wings. We're attacking this way. Our left wing, our right wing. We have our half spaces, left half space, right half space, and we have our central space. Then the field, those channels, as you can see, broke up in 5. Then the field, if we're attacking this way, is broke up in thirds when we go this way. We have our attacking third, we have our midfield third, and we have our defensive third. Okay, so when looking at our wing and our channels, we're typically looking at these being key areas for crosses to come in, stretching the opposition on defense, and we also are looking at defensively. This is a crucial area to present the opposition from wide attacks, and we want to maintain shape. When we talk about our half spaces here, this is an area for creating overloads and quick combination play between our midfielders and our wings, and it also is defensively important for intercepting diagonal passes and combination play. So we want to stay compact in those half spaces, and the central channel is the most important channel when you're in the field for attacking purposes and for defensive purposes. It's the highest value space, and we really want to use this because it's critical for controlling the game's tempo and direction, and then providing defensive coverage. When talking about the different thirds, we'll start in the defensive third. This is priority here is to be safe. We want to clear threats quickly. We want to regain possession, and we want to stay compact to not let people attack us through the channels. In the middle third, this is your prime real estate. Just like the central space, this is our prime real estate. For controlling play, it allows us to make quick decisions. When we have possession and we're controlling this area of the field, we are in charge of how we make quick decisions and what opportunities we have into the attack. We want to maintain balance so we can shift between offense and defense pretty quickly. And it's essential for transitioning play, keeping possession, control of the game, ultimately enforcing the way we want to play on our opponents. When we talk about the attacking third, this area is where you really unleash your creativity and where you have quick combinations. Having quick combinations between our wings and central space, making runs, 1-2 touches when we talk about rondos and stuff like that, of moving around quickly so that we can make runs and get shots on goal. We want to make sure we're overloading sides within the attacking third, and it requires players to really be confident and take risks and take shots. In this, I want you just to take a second and look at the formation that we've played most this year. When we've played a 3-5-2, we've got our goalkeeper in goal. We've got our 3 defenders, our left center back, our right center back, our center defensive mid, our left center mid, our right center mid, and our right mid. And then we have our left striker and right striker. If you take a moment to look at this, you can see we're starting out what spaces these individuals dominate. Our goalkeeper's space and realm all lies in between these half spaces of the defensive third. Our defenders typically are starting out and protecting the half spaces and central space in the defensive third. Our center defensive mid, as you can see, is a central space typically within the midfield third, but the second half of the midfield third. So if we were to cut this line down, the second half of the midfield third is typically where they are. And our 4 other midfielders, our left mid, left center mid, and right mid are all, as you can see, kind of in line. Now this is just showing the formation. They don't always have to be in a straight line, but you can see that they're controlling that space, and we overload the middle part of the field. Then we have our 2 strikers who typically operate in the half space, central space. All right, so what is each individual's role when we're looking at it broken down in half spaces and thirds? Our goalie, we're lucky to have 2 really good goalies on our team, but our goalie has to look at this as being a distributor, right? So you're going to act as the last line of defense with your shot stopping skills, obviously, but you also initiate build-up play. So when you make that save, you're initiating build-up play and starting us out on the attack. You're typically, like I said before, operating in these half spaces and this central space, but you're looking for areas up the field to provide distribution when we're going to start our attack. Let's talk about our outside center backs. Okay, so you're typically going to operate in this half space and wing area, providing support to our wings, providing support to our central space, but you're typically operating with these. When we are in possession, we're playing out to the wing, we're playing up through the half space, we're looking to keep the ball distributed up and out of the central central area and the central half spaces. And on defense, when I talk about, hey, keep them outside, we want to keep them not only out of the half space, but crucially, we want to keep them out of the central space, especially in our defensive third. We know that if somebody's coming down here and they're trying to attack within, we're positioning ourselves to keep them outside. And these wings are usually back helping with defense, but we're always trying to push them outside into the wing channel and keeping them out of the half space. If they do end up getting in the half space, it's our job to try to push them and keep them out of the central space, and that's where shift happens. Okay, let's talk about our defensive anchor, the center back. Okay, our center back is typically the one that's anchoring our defense and controlling play. Communicating with your other defenders is crucially important. While our goalie sees everything and may communicate up, our center back is who's going to keep our line in organization and compact to make sure that nothing gets between us in these channels, because we're always trying to prevent people from splitting up our defenders. So this person, when we're running an offside trap or we're running a high line, is going to be looking across with a head on a swivel to make sure that his defenders are staying up with him. If we're in a situation where we're playing against a really fast back line, these guys on the outside may play up a little bit, but it's going to be our center back who comes back and makes sure that they recover to get anybody who might get through one of our half spaces on either side. Or we have situations, which I saw happen a lot really good, where this person steps up, and if you step up, you communicate with your defenders on the outside to step back so that you can win this ball in space and close down the opponent's attack. Let's talk about two of the most important positions within our formation and the hardest working positions within our formation. I'm talking about the left outside mid and the right outside mid. Your space of operations within this formation is in the attacking third, the midfield third, and the defensive third. And you're in the wing channel and the half space on each side. So you're getting up and down all this space all game because you're our engines. You're our engines. A lot of our attack happens where we keep people outside and we overload. So on offense, we're able to overload because we're bringing so many people. On defense, we're able to protect. We have 5 essentially in the back with these people dropping down into space to keep it real compact. With this formation and everybody operating well, we close down. We should not have anybody get through the middle. We should be able to push everything out. If our wings are doing their job by getting forward in the attack and getting back in defense. When we talk about getting forward in the attack, in these half spaces, our wings can cut inside. There might be overlapping runs from our forwards, or our wings go down to look for crosses or come back. But that's usually how it works with our outside mids. One of the other really hard working positions within our formation that helps this formation be extremely successful is this guy right here, our center defensive mid. Understand that in defense, our center defensive mid, I call them like taking out the garbage, taking out the trash. Their job is to prevent anything from getting to our defense of players. If we're getting attacked and the ball comes to them and they don't have time to distribute, we're clearing it out so that we can get back, take our shape, and really control the play more. We don't want to play around in here. So this person is our garbage man when it comes to defense. On offense, they distribute. They're a deep lying playmaker. So they're distributing. When they get the ball in from outside, so say we have our wing who passes it in on the outside, this person is looking to make a play. If they're into space, they're going to take that space and dribble until somebody comes to them, but they're ultimately looking for areas based on this formation. We'll have a lot of triangles for them to make opportunities to attack and keep possession moving forward. Let's talk about our center mids who are operating typically in the half space and central space of all 3/3 of the field. Just like our wings, our center mids, they're getting all the way up, they're getting all the way back, and they're helping. On defense, they're getting back and they're being compact. They want to prevent attacks through the middle of the field, through the central space and through the half spaces. We don't want attacks coming through here. We always want to push people out to the wings. Our formation allows us to have that ability where we can push people out to the outside and make it really hard for them to make any movements or any play through here. In the attack, when we have possession of the ball, our central midfielders are crucial to help with the attack. They score goals, but they also distribute. They also make runs, overlapping runs, and find opportunities to get the ball either to our wings who are cutting inside or to our strikers who are making runs or holding up play. So if our striker's holding up play and gets a pass here, this center mid can make a run off of them to try to go to goal and shoot, or can provide support. All right, now let's get to the typical goal scorers, our strikers. They're going to operate in the half space and central spaces mostly, and they're probably going to typically stay in the attacking third and the midfield third. Only in situations of corners or free kicks are we having them come down into the defensive third, or when we're up and we're protecting a lead and we want to really be compact, then that's might be when we have them always track back. But they're typically operating within these three channels. And then in the attacking third, we have two strikers, and depending on what strikers you are, what your strengths are, strikers are typically need to have the ability to not only get behind. We've talked about this. We have strikers, and some people, when we put you in that position, your job is to utilize your speed to get behind the defensive line to make those runs so that our midfielder or your striking partner can get it to you. Also, we have some strong strikers on our team too, who need to be able to hold up play with their back to goal to allow the midfielders to help in support of your attack and our wingers to help in support of the attack, so that we can attack as a unit and overload the defenders who are trying to stop us on goal.